I told myself getting into his car meant nothing. It was survival. It was logic. It was not surrender. That's what I repeated in my head as the city lights blurred past the window. He didn't look at me while driving. He didn't try to talk. He didn't try to impress. He just drove. Calm. Focused. Like protecting me was an ordinary task on his schedule. That irritated me more than fear ever could. "You don't get to decide when I need protection," I said finally. His eyes stayed on the road.
You're right.
The answer threw me off. I blinked.
I don't decide, he continued. I observe.
I folded my arms. "I don't belong to you." A small pause.
I know.
His voice wasn't defensive. It wasn't possessive. It was certain.
That doesn't change anything.
The car stopped outside my building. He stepped out first, walked around, opened my door. I refused to look impressed. "You don't have to escort me to my door."
I know.
And yet he did. He didn't touch me, didn't hover, just walked beside me. "This ends tonight."
Nothing has begun.
That answer unsettled me more than anything else. The next morning, my father was already awake, coffee in hand, jaw tight.
You came home in a black car.
Of course he noticed. I took a ride.
With Romanov.
It wasn't a question. I sighed. I was being followed. "I don't know." His silence filled the kitchen.
He shouldn't be the one protecting you.
And yet he was. That truth sat between us, uncomfortable. At university, whispers followed me. Not loud, not obvious, but present. 2 girls from my class stared too long. A guy I barely knew suddenly asked if I was connected. I hated that word, connected. Like I was a wire plugged into power I didn't choose. That afternoon, Professor Hale pulled me aside.
"Miss Castillo," he said, voice lower than usual. "Be careful with the circles you move in."
"I move in libraries," I replied. His eyes flickered.
"Just be careful."
That evening, I stayed late again. Not because I needed to, because I refused to feel intimidated. The campus security guard nodded at me differently, more respectfully. That annoyed me. Outside the library, the same black car waited. I walked straight past it. I didn't stop. Didn't hesitate. Footsteps echoed behind me again. My pulse jumped, but I didn't turn. I refused to give in to fear. Then suddenly, a hand grabbed my wrist. Not his. Rough. Unfamiliar.
"Hey," a voice muttered. "You've been walking alone a lot."
My heart slammed. Before I could react, the grip disappeared. A sharp crack echoed in the night. The man stumbled backward, not punched violently, not beaten, just neutralized. Romanov stood between us, suit immaculate, expression unreadable. The man on the ground groaned. Romanov didn't look down at him. He looked at me.
You're bleeding, he said calmly.
I hadn't noticed. My wrist was red where it had been grabbed. "It's nothing," I snapped.
Get him off campus.
The man was lifted without resistance, like trash being removed. "I told you I don't need you interfering." His jaw tightened slightly.
This isn't interference.
"It is!" He stepped closer. Not threatening, but intense.
You were targeted, he said quietly.
"For what?"
For proximity.
The word hit harder than it should have. "Proximity to you?" I demanded. I hated how calm he was. "How long have you been watching me?"
Long enough.
That's not an answer.
It's the only one that matters.
I pulled my hand away. "You can't just decide I'm yours to protect." His gaze didn't waver.
I didn't decide.
"Then what is this?" He looked at my injured wrist again, then back at me.
It's instinct.
The honesty in that answer silenced me. He didn't say desire. He didn't say ownership. Instinct, like something in him reacted before logic. That's not my responsibility. Then stop. A pause. A long one. He stepped back slightly. "What happens tomorrow?"
You'll attend your moot court hearing.
My stomach dropped. "How do you know about that?" His expression didn't change. "I don't need an audience."
You won't see me.
That's worse. A faint flicker of something crossed his face. Not amusement, not irritation. Something almost pleased.
You argue well.
I'm serious. The next day, I stood in the mock courtroom presenting my argument on corruption reform. I was focused, sharp, uncompromising. I didn't look toward the back. I refused to. But I felt it. That attention again. Steady, unwavering. When I finished, applause filled the room. Stronger than usual, the judges looked impressed. Outside, 2 men in suits whispered and left quickly. I didn't like it. Afterward, I stormed outside, and there he was, leaning against his car, as if this were a coincidence. You said I wouldn't see you. See?
I didn't say I wouldn't be there.
You think this is romantic? Then what is it? He straightened slightly, and for the first time, there was no calculation in his voice.
No one will ever use you to get to me.
The air shifted. That wasn't ego, that was protection. You think I'm weak?
I think you're visible.
And that bothers you? The honesty startled me. Why? He stepped closer, not enough to corner me, enough to lower his voice.
Because you don't know how dark this city is.
And you do?
I built parts of it.
That silence between us was heavier than fear. You can't control everything, I said.
I don't need to.
Then what do you need? His answer came immediately.
To make sure you're untouched.
The intensity of that sentence stole my breath. I don't belong in your world. His eyes softened slightly.
That's why you're dangerous.
That wasn't a confession, but it was close. Too close. I don't want this, I whispered.
I know.
Then why won't you stop? A long pause, then.
Because if something happens to you, I won't forgive myself.
The words weren't dramatic, they were certain. And that certainty shook me more than threats ever could. Sirens wailed faintly in the distance. The world moved around us. But in that moment, it felt like the city held its breath. You're not my guardian, I said softly. You're not my father. Then what are you? His gaze locked onto mine, unblinking, unwavering.
I'm the man who will stand between you and anything that tries to break you.
The weight of that promise settled in my chest. Dangerous, steady, unwanted. And yet, part of me felt something shift. Not trust, not surrender. Something quieter, awareness. I turned away first. Again. But this time, I knew something I hadn't admitted before. He wasn't protecting me for control. He was protecting me because he couldn't not. And that made him far more dangerous than I had imagined.